Hey, there it is. I think we're good. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Cloak and Stagger. I am Moose. I am the DM for our Icewind Dale campaign. And with us, as always, is our fearless adventurers led by our Duck Dynasty captain.
Hilarious.
Duck Dynasty Jesus. Say hello, Duck Dynasty Jesus.
Hello, Duck Dynasty Jesus.
No, god dang it. All right. How's everybody
Perfect.
doing tonight?
The water sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not here down in Mississippi. We're good in Mississippi.
Must be nice.
We got water down here. in Mississippi.
Hey, I did one load today. I felt proud of myself. House didn't explode.
Well, if anybody out there is joining us from a froze over hellhole, our thoughts go out to you because
For
most
real.
of us are dealing with the same thing. Luckily, we have power, so we didn't obviously get hit as bad as Texas, but
Yeah,
some of
we're not
us
in Texas.
have boil water orders and burst pipes, so we are doing as best we can. That being said, we're here today, ladies and gentlemen, to play some Dungeons and Dragons and hopefully take our mind off it for a little while. So, that being said, anybody want to do a quick recap?
I volunteer as tribute.
Volunteers tribute? Okay.
Yeah. This is going to make my face look very white whenever I open this, so sorry about that. Okay. The interrogation of the dwarf begins. I don't understand anything that he is saying. He ends up saying a Sunblight clan will blight this whole land and you'll go down with it. I only know that because it's translated to me. I don't know what it just sounded like gibberish to me. The dwarf, though, he's a dum-dum and he decides to bite Sandy, which is a big no-no. So obviously he ends up dying. Aramil goes to get the captain to tell him about the dwarves. This is an unfortunate thing that happened after that. So I have to give 5 rations to Sandy because I cannot hold them. It's too heavy. I'm at my capacity. So all of this happens, blah, blah, blah. We rest. We head back to the town hall area. So when we go into the town hall, it's super strange, right? And we're like, hello, is anybody there? Hello? And we're like going to explore, like, what's going on? Where's everybody? We have to fight a ghost person. I'm curious, is it the white lady? I don't know. I think it might be the white lady. I kill her.
What happened? You kind of just glossed over a bunch there. You walked into the room and you saw the lady. And what was that?
No,
like?
she was like tied up. This was a couple weeks ago. I'm just reading my notes. I don't remember.
Okay.
My notes remember.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
She was tied up, and I think someone untied her, and then she tried to kill us. I'm
I
curious
never
if
tried to
it's the
untie
white
her, just-
lady.
Walked up to her and shit got real. Okay, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I ain't afraid of nobody.
I end up killing her though. That's in the notes. I killed her. We go downstairs and we hear clanging. I look in the door and see that in the first 2 doors there is a guard and the speaker of the town. I overhear them and they say that the Zentarum came and stole that goddamn cauldron. I told them it wasn't safe. I want my money still. And that's where we left off.
Okay. Very good. You get inspiration for tonight. You don't use it, you lose it. Thank you for doing the recap.
No problem.
And yes, that brings us right to where we left off. You all started looking through the eye hole covers of the dungeon beneath Town Hall and start to see that there are multiple guards down here that are just kind of crammed into cells. And in one of them, the speaker seemed to be in there, and Captain Arlagath was in another one. Yes, one of them, when asked one of the guards yelled out that it was the Zentarum that did it. And that's where we'll pick up. So, looking through this hall, let me go ahead and uncover some of this here. Go, and... Sucinda, I guess you were kind of talking to the person inside the cell next to you.
Hello.
Looking inside, you see that it is Speaker Waylon in there, who looks out and says, "My gods, is that you, Sucinda?"
Yes, that's my name. It's me.
Could you get us out?
Do you have a key?
The captain has the keys.
I have a key to many places. I smirk.
Can somebody help me here with the key?
This, just to serve as memory.
Maybe I
this-
can...
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
To serve memory, I believe I ran in here and there was nobody in there, right?
Correct. It was
Okay.
empty with the exception of a chair, a stool, like a little table, and a bucket.
No people though.
No people.
Okay.
But you do hear kind of commotion behind the door to your east,
Right.
as well as another door as you pass by.
Okay. Yes. I'll come and assist with the lock picking.
Okay, so you're going to try and pick the lock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check or a lock picking check.
Yeah, and it's my intention to unlock everybody
Okay.
who's trapped. You said sleight of hand?
Yeah, or yeah.
So,
Whatever walks out of that room, if something walks out of that room, can I do an Arcana check to see if there's anything magical about it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
oh, no, that's not it. Well, because I have Thieves' Tool and it says use tool, but then
Yeah, it's just a dexterity sleight of hand check.
that's much better. All right.
Yeah, so you pull out your thieves' tools and begin to fiddle with the lock a little bit until you kind of feel it catch on a certain point, and you then are able to turn the tumbler inside the door, and it kind of swings open, and inside you see Speaker Waylon, and he looks absolutely exhausted and distraught.
Somebody else, and I'll just immediately proceed to the next clanger.
Okay. When he steps out, go ahead and you said you wanted to make an Arcana check.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Aramil, go ahead and make another sleight of hand check with advantage. Since you kind of already familiar. Okay, and you kind of check that lock as well. And Captain Arlagath kind of stumbles out. And I'll say after that, you can pretty successfully go through and unlock the rest of the doors. All right, Arcana. So, sort of checking this individual from head to toe, you are able to determine that there doesn't seem to be anything fishy going on here. This 100% seems to be Speaker Waylon, no kind of imposter or enchantment or anything like that.
Okay. Seeing him out here and looking quite fatigued, I'll just walk up and ask, how in the hell did all of you get captured and thrown down here?
He sort of lets out a long sigh and turns and says, They caught us off guard. These men, which Captain Arlagath seems to believe are Zentarum, came in and, well, they cornered me in my office, and they held me hostage. They forced everybody to drop their weapons and, well, they threw us in here. I don't believe anyone was hurt. And he sort of seems to turn around and look behind him at all of the other guards sort of filing out. But, oh, gods. And he sort of runs by you, Wilzu, towards this room at the end of the hallway, and he flings the door open, and you hear him just, damn it! As he runs in there.
Where are you going? What is happening here?
Running into the room, you see a table with some playing cards on it, and there are also some chairs that are sort of knocked over. But looking down at the ground, you also notice some scrape marks on the floor that look like something was dragged out of here. And he looks over to you and says, "That's what they wanted. They took the cauldron." Captain sort of comes up behind.
You were attacked, and you think it's so they could steal the cauldron that we were selling to you?
I don't know of any other explanation. Well, it seems as though we were betrayed.
So upstairs, also, you probably won't have answers for this, but there was
Oh boy.
there was a ghost.
I message what's her name? Wilzu. Wilzu? Let's just one thing at a time. It was rather cold upstairs.
Yes, it was freezing.
It's cold everywhere.
Well, let's get out of this hellhole.
Perhaps we should reconvene in my office.
We didn't clear out your whole building, so I don't know what's lurking here. Just FYI.
I doubt if they came here for the cauldron that they would have stayed. He says, Captain, have you seen our bookkeeper? And he's, you see the captain sort of put his head down towards the ground and just sort of mutter under his breath, no, in fact, I believe Prudence may have had a hand in this. You see a look of concern kind of wash over the speaker's face.
You know, can I just say, it seems like the bookkeepers or the secretaries are always the ones in these small towns to sell somebody out.
This has happened before.
Yeah.
What an odd pattern.
Where?
Let me look in my notes and see what the town was called. Bloop, 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 bloop.
It was to the east. What was that town?
There is no town east of here.
It's where I live. I
Big
should know
town
this.
to the west.
Maybe west. Maybe it was west.
Bryn Shander.
Bryn Shander.
Bryn Shanda.
Bryn Shander.
Yes,
What
precisely.
about? You talking about the murders?
Yeah, and remember it was the girl who sold them out.
The secretary was the one helped forging the documents.
Right. They're just not trustworthy.
Interesting. Either way, I would like to get out of this dungeon if that's quite all right with you. And
Lead the way.
the captain sort of looks at everybody and says, "This way." And as he gets back to sort of this little crossroads here, he addresses all the guards and says, Men, back to your posts. This is not a time to rest.
What's her name? Prudence?
Prudence, yes.
Prudence. Prudence.
And let me switch us back over here real quick. Go, and boom. The captain and the speaker sort of lead the way out with the guards closely behind you. And they make their way into the room. Oh, actually, let's do... I took us to the wrong floor. 1 second. All these look alike. There we go. This is the correct room. And they lead you back out into the large room with the statue in it.
Definitely looking like the meme, like, like.
And as they come out, the speaker turns around to you, Wilzu, and says, "Do mind yourself around the statue. There's something not right with it."
Yeah, I'm well aware of that.
And he continues through the doorway, and they eventually kind of make their way out front.
I send a message to Welzu, and I say, "Scotty doesn't know."
Don't
I
tell
know,
Scotty.
I'll respond. I don't see if it matters if they know or not. They have to know something.
JD, I can't see myself on here. I can move my character because of the stream. I know where I'm at, but just for
Nice.
reference. I'm
Using the tools provided.
yeah.
I want to look at Ariel and just do this.
Yes, sir.
Did you message that to me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know. I say in your head.
How much you want to bet this guy's about to fuck us out of our money because his group lost the cauldron?
I mean, I'm pretty broke.
Well, let's find out. I'll dive right into it. So, here we are, the main room. A little more comfy in your dungeon, huh?
He starts to... He looks like he's continuing to walk upstairs. And he turns around to address you and says, "Yes, I suppose this is much better, but we can all have a seat if we go to the office."
Oh, upstairs. Sure. Keep on going. Right behind you. Come on, everyone. Let's go upstairs to talk.
And he leads you upstairs to the office, there where he sits down. And as he does, he kind of lets out a... Oh, gods. As he sits down and says...
I lost vision up here, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, when I moved.
So did I.
Damn it, what the fuck is going on with this shit?
You may have to remove Advanced Fog of War for it to work proper. That's what I had to do on Shadows.
Let's see.
Or just Fog of War.
Yeah, I'm working on it here.
I float into the black abyss that suddenly reforms as terrain.
Dude, Roll20 is such a bitch sometimes. Let me just drag you all back.
Yeah, it's
out
like
here.
they're in between updates. Like they want you to use their new dynamic lighting, but they still have the legacy dynamic lighting. And
Which is going away
even
in
if you're not
May.
mixing and matching them, some of their shit's just it's just not playing right.
And this is still not. Super cool. Love it. All right, let me just look it. happens if I do that? Wow, cool.
I
Look at
can
that.
see me.
Yeah, we can definitely see no.
Adamel, you're blocking the way.
Yes, sorry.
I tap him on his back. Thank you.
Just recounting events.
Right. So, you all came to us with the cauldron.
Yes, we sure did.
We struck our deal.
We did.
He sort of glares over to you and says, and continues, shortly after, we took the cauldron down to the dungeon, locked it behind the door, and had it under constant guard with at least 4 guards at all times. I was in here, and figures in black burst through the door and grabbed me and held a knife to my throat. Shortly after, guards poured in. They threatened my life unless the guards submit, which they did. They took us all down to the dungeon, locked the door. Don't know what they did with the key, and until now did not know that they took the cauldron. But one perhaps lead we have is the fact that Prudence is the only one who was not taken captive, and now she is nowhere to be found. And he sort of glances over at Captain Arlagath, and he sort of leans forward in the chair and says, we had Prudence here for, some measure of years. We had no reason to suspect her of any foul play. He sort of looks back to the group and says, I'm sorry. Says, but, hope is not perhaps lost yet. Prudence did mention occasionally that she had family in Targos. Perhaps something worth investigating.
Thank you for the information.
He says, we do not yet have the funds to pay you for the cauldron, but I can assure you we will increase that amount if you are able to reacquire it. And I will say this, if you can handle the issue of Prudence, we will pay extra.
As in handled, do you mean bring her back alive, or just bring her back in general?
I leave that to you. If she did have a hand in this, no one threatens the life of the speaker and lives to tell, whether it be by your hand or ours.
Looking around at everyone to see if anyone else is gonna say anything before I just
I look deep in thought right now, just kind
word
of
vomit.
at a blank spot on the ceiling.
Sin, what's on your mind? I send a
Well,
message.
I say this out loud though instead. I'm glad somebody asked. So, speaker, may I speak bluntly?
He just looks over towards you and nods.
Okay, good. I just want to be clear that I'm understanding correctly, okay? I don't mean to... Look, I can be a little bit straightforward. I don't mean to offend. These are serious questions, and I'm just gonna say them, okay?
He nods.
Speaker? Okay, good. So, we give you the cauldron, right? And you say, oh, come back tomorrow, friend. I will have your money.
You see him
Okay.
scowling already.
Oh boy.
So I assumed that a deal was a deal, and I would come back today for funds. Now, we come back, and we free you. Because you were captured. The cauldron is gone. And you've said now, oh, there's no money, but if you do me this one favor of going and killing this girl for me, then I will give you even more money if you bring the cauldron back. So now I'm kind of selling you the cauldron twice, and I'm being a bounty hit woman, and I freed you. I just want to make sure I'm not being swindled right now, and you really have zero gold. And you're just prolonging this. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think that as he sort of slams the table and stands up, that I wanted to have a knife to my own throat in my own office?
Sir, I will ask you kindly, one time, to lower your voice to me.
I'll stand up and stand next to Sin. When he's
I
Captain
just got you out of these
Arlagath stands
godforsaken chambers downstairs. Do you want to go back inside of them? I said that I did not mean to offend, so I will ask you, one time, do not raise your voice to me. You are the one asking me for the favor, not the other way around.
I am asking no favors from you.
Really? Because it seems to me like you owe me money, and you want me to go and do you another favor of going and getting the cauldron, and killing the little bitch Prudence. Yes? I tried to be civil. If you don't want to be civil, I don't need to be civil with you. All I'm asking is for a little bit of respect back, okay?
The captain sort of stands up and says, you must first show respect before you receive it. You do not come into the speakers.
Plainly stated, I did not mean to offend. I was just trying to get my facts straight.
That did not sound like that's what that was at all.
Well, that's it. I said I don't mean to offend, right? I said those exact words, I think. I don't mean to offend.
The captain walks up and says, yes, you brought us the cauldron. We offered you money for it. It took some time to get that money. We don't yet have it. The cauldron was stolen, and yes, we don't have anything to do about it right now. We're asking if you would like to be handsomely rewarded. Reacquire the cauldron, and if you so happen to find Prudence, deal with her, and you will get more.
So basically what I said. Vilzy, what are you thinking about over there?
I was trying to determine what WAS really stands for. And I was watching this play out to see if maybe it sort of sorted itself out. Are we the adventuring group that, now look over to the captain, demands that responsibility be held regardless of the circumstances? Are we heroes that if people are in need, and even if we have a deal with them, they become even more in need, we see to the task instead? Curious how these things can play out and define who we are. I was just wondering, what are we? I'll look over to Aramil for a moment. What do you think, Aramil? Give me a take on.
I was wondering how quick it could be to get thrown out of a town. I like the second one personally.
I see. And Sandy, how do you feel about all this?
Sandy believes we deserve our money, but I understand shit happens, and I'm okay with doing whatever the rest of the group is. But if someone disrespects the group, I have no problem crushing their skull between my fingertips.
Agreed. And Sucinda, I believe I know how you feel about this already. And I already know your questions are not poised with, points or daggers or threats or anything of the sort. And I'll walk up next to the captain. You ask because you're curious. You're looking out for the best of your people, which is us.
I just want to make sure that we are not getting screwed over is all.
Exactly. That being said, and I'll look back to the captain, we are only inquiring to be certain. But we're also the type to go out of our way even if there's danger because we're Wes. That's what we want to do. Of course we're going to help you, but we're going to ask the hard questions first.
He sort of lets his shoulders slump a little bit. He relaxes and looks down to you and says, of course. That's fair. Yes, we struck a deal. Yes, things occurred that have now thrown a wrench into that deal. It's not what we wanted. We want to feed our people. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And sure, if you'd like to make money off of that in the middle of it, sure, that's fine. But we, unfortunately, and I know that this is not ideal, we cannot expend our coffers for something we do not have, even though it is our fault that we do not have it.
Money is not always a requirement in these situations, you know? Perhaps trade, artifacts, even information can be useful. But regardless, yeah, we expect you to hold up your end of the deal in the end, but it's not like we're going to try to bankrupt your whole city. I mean, do what you can, man, and we'll help out to the best we can.
You see him sort of one side of his lip curl up in a kind of a half smile. And he says, so, yes, I understand. You mean to go to Targos then?
Well, to be honest, I gotta check with, and I'll look over at Aramil. Our task manager, he's real. This guy over here is real good at keeping up with that stuff. But it'll certainly be on the list, which may be empty or have 10 things I'm unaware of. That's what he keeps up with.
It's about 15.
See, there you go.
Captain, is it possible to send a runner to check the guards at the entrance for figures in black or our lady in question?
Yes. And, he says, I will see to it as soon as we are done here.
She may expecting us to go to Targos based on that information, but we could track her or the men in black.
This is just a hunch. It's just something she's mentioned in passing a few times over the course of the 4 years she's been here. It's the only lead I have.
Yeah. There's nothing else on the job board, if you will.
I suppose we could check her house too. She lives here, right? Maybe.
She does.
Right. Could you take us there or have someone, or let us know where it is?
We could just, mark it on our map.
We'll investigate.
I will mark it on your map.
Okay, well, unless anyone has any other questions, I guess I wouldn't mind getting started. Do a little investigating.
I assume we have a little bit of leeway on entering the premises.
Yes. I don't have anything official to give you right now, but, yes, you can go and look, and try and find the information you need.
We will let you know if we find anything.
Actually, I have one question for you before we go. On my way to your library upstairs, I passed by what looked like a small window or a gap to the south that opened up to this entire room that seemed to have no doorway. What's up with that? Weird room.
That was the room we passed in with the statue.
No. It's I think it's directly to the, and I'll turn to my right and look past Sandy. I think it's behind this wall, actually.
Yes, that's the room you were in when you came down to the dungeon. And,
was it?
And yeah, so that room is 2 stories tall.
Oh. Was it above or below or? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay.
There's a window into that room, just in the next room over.
What Wilzu's trying to say is he's a history buff and was wondering if that statue has any significance.
The speaker sits up in his chair and says, That statue was brought to us by a group of adventurers who had dug it up from the bottom of the lake. And ever since it's been here, I've not felt quite right about it. Something is off.
Oh. And I'll just snap my fingers at him. It's haunted. You may want to deal with that.
I have
We-
advised that my guards steer clear of it.
Right.
We dealt with its greeter, if you will.
He sort of looks confused for a second. It's greeter.
It's, it's really nothing. Don't worry about it. We're going to go do some investigating. Is Wes ready to investigate? You guys ready to go?
Yes, but you should get that out of here.
You should definitely get that out of here. And all
Or
that
if you
stuff.
have
Don't
any,
quite know what to do with it.
if you have paladins or clerics, you should cleanse it or something. I don't know. Just don't leave it in town hall.
Adamel.
Yes, yes.
I scratch my head.
I like move my hair.
Never
Hey
mind.
girl, hey. A message over.
Adamel, are we really to leave here with no payment? Is that what is happening?
Well, I say it loud. Well, I can't wait to leave and to investigate another house.
With no
And
pay.
I wink at you.
Where's my hazard pay? I provided a cauldron. Where is my gold?
Well, we'll discuss it on the way.
I look back. I was like, "Did you leave her in there by herself with this?"
I mean,
picture of the captain?
Sin is an adult, and we are not in the same
I'll
room.
squeeze by.
I'll just say,
and make sure.
gentlemen, as I'm going to leave.
The captain says,
Excuse me.
good luck.
I happen to like this place. You can pickpocket for free. I don't want to be banned from this city.
I personally hate it here.
Are there any guards out here?
There are. I need to switch us back to the first floor.
That's fine. No worries.
A memento here.
I want to make sure that my gold is secure to where no one can pickpocket me.
Okay. You do just that. And as you make your way downstairs, you do see that there are guards standing there now. 4 guards in this room alone, actually.
I will proceed
damn.
outside.
Yes.
As the freaking line of sight goes black again. Love it.
See,
I
mine's
can
fine.
run.
Yeah, it's
The,
just
the streams went
I was
dead.
can't see.
Yeah. All right. So you all make your way back out into the city here. Where are we headed?
That's actually what we're about to talk about. When we get outside, I'll kind of rub my hands together and take a deep breath. I just love that outside cold air again, huh?
Yes.
I'll blow and watch my breath go out. How freezing it is.
And when you walk out, you do see the aurora sort of glistening through the sky, as it's probably about 9 o'clock at night.
Vilzu,
Sucinda.
you do realize we just left and didn't get any money. They just lost the cauldron. We struck a deal. They did not pay us anything. Not even 1 gold. Not even a single gold. Not one.
That is true, but they
And we
did,
just saved them. Nothing.
they did give us something quite valuable that we can cash in on later.
What?
Their word.
No, more empty promises. Their word was that we would get paid today. That's what their word was. And they didn't even do that. Not even a single copper.
Well, it seems like we're dealing with something greater than just the town speaker and a cauldron.
I feel like maybe if I'd slapped them in the face, just one of them, maybe I would feel a little bit better.
They
Well,
could have been
boss,
down in the dungeon for quite a while. They're there could have been a number of reasons why they couldn't get the gold for now. Regardless, they're in a really tight spot. And what kind of group would we be if we're, well, honestly, we'd just be mercenaries at that point. Which I'm not a damn mercenary, I'm an adventurer.
I feel like if you had slapped him, was would turn into was.
I just feel like we are being taken advantage of, is all.
I haven't put that point past us, but I'm willing to see how far the tunnel goes until, a trap is sprung and then we deal with it. Nothing makes my conscience feel any better than knowing 100% I got screwed over and exacting vengeance for it. So, hopefully, it doesn't come to that, but I look forward to it if it does.
Can we agree on one thing before we go then? If we are indeed to get the cauldron back, we will not leave it in their presence alone, unattended to, until they fully pay us.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
No more
They
of
get
this.
taken over so easily once, it can just happen
Right.
again, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Although, at the same time, I did, I looked down at my missing sand pouch from my hip. Misplace that, rock. The magic rock. So, I can't be too judgeful.
the irony is that Arlagath did offer us board and room at the town hall.
He offered us to sleep on the floor, Aramil. You want to sleep on the floor?
Well, no, but, things could have been different. But who knows? Some things have to happen. I'm sure there's a better philosophical way for that to happen. Fate, this, that, whatever.
There's another night at the White Lady Inn, it sounds like. Or, it's only, I'll look back up at the sky. It's dark, but it's not too late.
It's about midnight, I think. Or 1.
Oh, is
It's
it?
early.
Is it about midnight? Or
It's
1?
about 9 p.m.
What? No, it's not, Aramil. Look at the sky. It's just got dark.
Well, I could have swore it was 11 o'clock the other day, but I don't know what time it is.
I do have written down that you guys went to sleep at 11 p.m. the previous day.
Ah, yes. We did sleep. Or not. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind checking out that secretary's house sooner than later in case it gets messed with.
Yes, especially once the leeway permit to break in is hot and active.
Well, here. Look, he said it was right. And can you point to it on the map?
Yeah. He pointed it out. So currently you are all here at Town Hall. He pointed to a place on the map around the, kind of down the road, around the corner a little bit, over here.
And I'll point on there in the map. She lives about right here, I think is where he said. Oh! And it just came to me. We're going to a house. It's probably vacated, right?
You want to just be a freeloader?
It looks like this is our house now, if I'm not mistaken. And I'll
Well, there needs to be a deed in a drawer.
Squatter's
If,
right.
if there's a deed, then it's our house.
I
Well,
can
maybe-
roll up documents for us. Fear not. It's our house.
Maybe we'll get lucky. And I'll start walking that way.
Okay. It takes you about 20 minutes to get to the house. As you walk up on this house, you notice the houses on either side kind of have dim lights in the windows. This one's completely dark.
Well, I'll look around at the other houses. If I had to guess, this has to be it. And no one looks to be home.
Let's
Not to
take
say
a
there's
walk
nothing
around.
Oh, yeah, check the perimeter. Aramil, you take point on this. You're good at that stuff, aren't you?
Sure, yes. I just walk off. Is there I want to look and see front door, back door, windows.
Yeah,
What's going on?
there is there is no back door, but there are a few windows around the home. I don't have an actual map for this though.
Yeah, that's fine. Is there a window that's less public view, so to speak?
There is one on the side, yes.
Is it locked or is it just like a window?
It's just a window.
Hmm.
Doesn't seem to have any hinges on it or anything.
Hmm. All right, I'll go back to the front of the house.
Okay.
Well, that's not an option, and I'll go right up to the front door and give it a wiggle.
Yep. So the door itself doesn't have like a turn knob on it. It's just got basically a handle on it where you can push in. It looks like, but as you push on it, it doesn't seem to give any.
Is there a keyhole or anything?
There is.
Perfect. Well, if y'all would like to, just give me a second, and I'll take care of this.
You all see him sort of kneel down and unfurl his leather roll of lock-picking tools, and he starts to go to work on the door. Make a
make sure
sleight
no
of
one's
hand
gonna-
check for me.
I'm just gonna be looking around, making sure no one's like, what's going on there? You know, one of those deals.
Okay, make a
If they do
perception
it, ready
check
to
as well.
address.
Man, hot tonight.
Yeah, you are rolling hot tonight. Okay. The Wilzu, as you hear the kind of metal on metal sounds scraping behind you, looking around the street here, you don't see a single soul actually walking through the street. And looking at the houses and buildings across the road, you don't see anyone looking out at you either. Aramil, after probably about 30 seconds or so of working on this door, you hear it kind of unlatch, and you're able to push it in.
I say out loud, "Oh yes, there's my spare key." And open the door.
You open the door to a large, cold, dark room. Looking in there, everything is very neat still. There's no there's no mess around. There's not loose papers lying around. It seems like everything kind of has a spot and has its place.
I just kind of instinctually, not realizing exactly what I was doing, just kind of grab my dagger and suddenly just cautiously like walk in,
Okay.
realizing I just kind of walked in this room.
Yeah. So eyeing around the room, make a perception check for me. Okay. So as you pan across the room, you see a neatly made bed, like a bookshelf, kind of a kitchen area, a table where someone could sit and eat or read. There are a couple of unlit lanterns in the room. There's a fireplace with some wood in it that hasn't been burned. But one thing is, out of all of this stuff, and looking around and seeing everything, how neat and tidy it is, you do notice that there is a desk off to the side that has a couple of disheveled papers and things like that on it.
I say out loud, leaning back towards the door, "Ah yes, come in, guest who I was expecting." And
Following.
All right, yeah, I'll go inside.
I light a lantern
Okay.
and say, "Everyone," and I instinctually just walk over to the desk
Okay.
and kind of stand to the side while looking but not blocking.
Okay. Looking down, you notice a couple things. There is kind of an ink well as a pen there. Looks like somebody had been sitting here, maybe writing something. One of the other things that catches your eye, though, on the desk is a metal cage sitting on top of it, and its grates are probably about 1 inch square, not very big openings, and there is a door on the top of this, kind of a metal door on a hinge that is open, and inside of it, you notice there's a few. It looks almost like something had shed part of its skin there a little bit. There's basically like some dead, scaly, dead skin kind of at the bottom, just a little bit, and it's not very big. But something almost, it looks like almost like a reptile of some sort was kept inside this cage and is no longer there.
On a motion for Sandy to come inside. Come on, man, get out of the cold. We're getting in here.
I I'm like right in front of the door, so I take like 2 steps back. I'm just making sure no one tries to enter the house while we're in it. Exploring.
You just stand in guard.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Make a.
All right, well, I want to shut the door
perception.
at some point. So, do you for a bit.
I mean, you can shut the door. I'll stand right on inside of the door.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, you didn't notice anybody looking at you or anything as you step inside.
I just want to make sure no one comes in behind us while we're concentrating on, the paperwork side of things.
Right. Mm.
This may not be a bad place to spend the night.
Well, most likely. And I'll walk over to Airmill and look at the cage and the little shed scales. And I'll kind of lean close to him. And can I determine what those scales belong to?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Okie dokie. It's my magic number tonight.
10. Okay, let me see real quick here. Yeah, so looking at this, you're able to you kind of reach in and grab the dead skin and sort of hold it up towards the window where the light kind of comes through, and also kind of balance that against the light from Aramil's lantern. And it's very fine, very small scales, lead you to believe that this has to belong to some sort of smaller serpent, either some kind of snake.
Snake scales? Maybe? A little odd for it to be in a cage.
Right. And in this climate.
Yes.
Something doesn't sit right with me. Hope we're the only ones here. And I'll just look around the room. Not really looking for anything, but just slightly paranoid. No.
It's just a single room house.
Yeah, looking around, you can see kind of every piece of the home in terms of the bed, the dresser, the desk, fireplace, table, kitchen area, like everything is right there.
On that paper, is it a way to like lift it up and look and see if there's a way to make out what was written on top of it? Like, is it stacked paper? Like a notebook?
No, it's not like stacked or anything like that. So you wouldn't. It doesn't have like any indentions in it or anything like that.
Right.
It just looks like somebody was writing letters here.
Are there any drawers we can look in?
There's 2 drawers. There's one on either side.
I'd like to open them both.
Okay. Inside of the first drawer, you see some more paper, some extra ink in there. Just kind of basic stationery, kind of note-taking supplies. In the other one, there is some kind of bag of kind of dried meat. It looks like.
I'm not interested. I can't carry anything.
I would like to look for some kind of trap door, secret basement area, passage.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Nope.
Looking around, and you kind of know exactly what you're looking for in this type of room. You're looking for extra crease in the floor, in the wooden floor, some kind of lever or button next to the fireplace, just something. But this seems to be a pretty standard home. If somebody was up to something nefarious here, they were certainly extremely discreet about it.
Do you want to look through the drawers or the other furniture?
Where this lady is, it seems she went on purpose, as opposed to the other group when we found their place, and it was, well, ransacked, basically. curious. Either way, this is our lodging for the evening. Yes?
I don't see why not.
Right.
Perfect. In that
So-
case, I'm gonna go ahead and set up for the night. I really don't think there's anything here worthwhile.
Moose, have I ever seen a deed in my life?
I'm sure at some point in time, maybe.
I want to sit down at the desk while everyone is just kind of talking.
Okay.
And I would like to draw up a deed and put it in our names.
Okay. You
Okay.
you try to think about what East Haven's deeds would look like, and you try and forge one as best you can. If you would, I'm gonna have you make a check for me.
Even though I'm just supposed to be able to do it.
You're just supposed to be able to do it.
Yeah, per my note here, let me find it again. Additionally, you can forge documents, including official papers and personal letters, as long as you have seen an example of the kind of document or the handwriting you are trying to copy.
Okay, that's from your class.
It's from my background, yeah.
Okay, then yes, you draw it up as best you think. You've seen a deed, but it wasn't from here.
Okay.
So
I
you
want to
draw
turn
it up-
around.
Yeah, and under the way that you know it to be previously.
Okay. Well, you guys, look what I found here. Just so happens to be. If we want it, turns out this house is ours. And I showed them the deed that I have just created.
Interesting that it's in our names already.
I mean, it's amazing. I
And all
can't
4 of
believe
them.
it.
Right.
What a coincidence.
And correctly spelled.
I know. And
Fascinating.
if they read them in order, it's was. Ah, wow. Who'd have thought?
I guess squatter's rights, huh? Well, if this is in this city, we now own this house. What do we call it?
I mean, I made the deed, so I don't know. You guys can think of the house. The house name.
Well, this is great, and it could also permanently get us thrown out.
No. We're here at the captain's request. So, anytime we're here, we're investigating. Even if we're asleep, we're doing good work.
Well, I'm sure they would try and sell this house to someone else.
If you don't want us to have the deed, it's really not a big deal. It took me like 2 minutes to make. It's not crucial.
Wait, you made this?
Well, yeah. Looks legit, right?
Rock solid interrogation.
Temporary WAS quarters.
Sid, I'm feeling very sassy because we're not getting paid. I'm just diverting my anger into other stuff.
I think we should have collected something. Before we went and did another errand with not getting paid for the first.
Our expenses are running high, but like I said, I like the place.
As a start, we could take whatever we want from here, I guess. There's some inks and stuff. I'm sure it's worth something. Maybe some carpet.
You look down, there's a few rugs on the ground, yeah.
Yeah, see? A few silver's worth of rugs.
Wonder if there's any copper we can pull out of the walls.
Sadie, that's genius. Please check as soon as you can.
I don't mean to ask about you guys' pockets, but how are you guys doing it financially?
I'd like to turn my back towards her and just start locking the door and like kind of wedge a chair under the handle, acting like I wasn't asked.
Aramil, Vilzu, are you guys doing
Huh?
all right?
What?
Let's see. I have about 69 gold on me.
Nice.
I whip around and looked at Wilson.
That is a lot of
Excuse
gold.
I look at everybody a little confused. Yeah, why? 69 gold.
Vilzu,
Sam,
you
how
have a
much-
lot of gold.
How much do you have, Sin?
Let me look.
More than she act like.
Who said that?
It's funny that
God.
Vilzu has 69 gold because I
Nice.
have 70. have one more than him.
Well,
Air-
Sandy.
Airmail, what about you?
Well, I feel like I'm on your side. I've got 8 gold.
I would have had a lot more had I not gone shopping and bought all the extra upgrades.
I look down. I have 2.
Oh.
And some silver, and I just kind of like in my hand kind of pull it out.
Well,
Vizu, how do you have so much gold? I know how I have so much gold, but now I'm curious how you do.
Honestly, I'm not sure. It really doesn't feel like much. No matter what, I have to have 50 set aside. Always.
I'm feeling very curious because I know what I did to get my gold. And I'm just like, how does Wilzu have so much gold?
is that so you can invest in a stock that you like?
No, nothing to do with economic stuff. Just spells. Anytime there's a new spell I need to transcribe, the materials are quite pricey. It's 50 gold each, so I have enough for one
Wow.
new spell.
What
Wait,
about
you
the
have to
idea
pay?
of?
Do you have to pay for your spells?
Not necessarily. See, to make a spell and actually utilize it, you have to use magical inks, and those inks are pricey.
I don't pay for mine.
Well, no, as we grow stronger, we gain power naturally. But say there's a scroll, and I'll reach into my bag and I'll just pull out a scroll that has a very powerful fire-like spell on it that I still don't know what it is.
I hope
Now-
it's Fireball. I have a cousin who loves it. It's all she does.
Come time to use it, I could use it, it would vanish, and that would be it. Or I could keep it forever, transcribe it to a spell book, and use it over and over, as long as I have the magical inks to transcribe it. See what
Do
I
you
mean?
have the ink? Do you have the ink now?
Well, no, not on me. I just purchased it
Oh.
with the 50 gold.
I hope you can find a shop that carries it. These shops we've went to have been lackluster at best.
Most general stores that I've seen in my days carry such things.
Oh, well, that's good information. I like that, Vilzu. Thank you. You taught me something new today. I appreciate that. A
What about
silver
the-
lining to the day.
What
David,
about
you look at chat.
entertaining?
Which was shut.
Go ahead, Aramil.
What about the idea of, since we're flipping houses, why don't we just, buy and sell houses and change the decor and sell them for more? We already have our starter house. It looks ready to go. I'm sure you could draw up a new deed and sell it to some sucker here in town.
You know, Adamil, that's not the worst idea ever if we get into a pinch. However, we will obviously have to put fake names on the deed. Oh, this is John Doe's house, and
Right.
we are selling it to. So when they go to say, "Oh, looks like I did my paperwork, and this did not belong to John Doe,"
You've
They
got a
wouldn't be
disguise kit,
wise.
right?
Huh? What?
You have a disguise kit, right? Yes?
I mean, I have one. I don't need to use it though.
Well, you could if you want to become a real estate broker, agent, and a salesperson or a homeowner.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
could
I
make
think
it a
it's
quick
hard
buck.
to actually own this place if we wanted to. If the owner is deceased or a traitor, then we deal with them. We come back, they discuss our extra reward after we find the cauldron, and then we say, why don't you do it that house that no one lives in anymore as well? And they'll probably go, oh, sure, whatever. And then we'll have a house.
Sin,
Yes.
you know what? I just want to. Well, hold on. Let me start over. Let me preface this by I mean no offense, Sin. But what if we report back to the town's the speaker and you say, you know what? Since that person's a traitor, why don't you just give us that house?
We have to confirm
But
that.
we still want the gold for the cauldron and we still want the extra gold for doing the new stuff we gotta do.
We
I
gotta
wonder.
confirm first.
We can just kill her, but before we kill her, we can pretend. Oh, she actually signed her house over to us first. What are they gonna do? Ask her she's dead? Obviously not.
They may
Now we
want
already
proof.
have the deed.
They may want to see her head, which we're terrible at collecting.
If,
Well, we
if
can
she's
bring her head
involved with
back,
this.
and we can just pretend.
I was
Oh,
gonna say we
she
could just
signed it to us.
find a random woman and smash her head, and it kind of fits our forte that it would be her.
No, Sandy, no.
We don't
that's
need to
the
commit
line.
murder
Crossing the
to
line.
just-
commit forgery
I
and
could just-
fraud.
Crush it, like pop
Can we
it.
just do white collar crimes? No, you don't have to kill somebody for a free house.
Yeah, we're
Technically,
going down
we
a
already
dark.
have it.
All right, we are going down a dark hole. You know what? Let's just. I want to go through the last of the furniture, just looking for anything.
Okay.
I want to look under the mattress. Is there anything hidden under the mattress? That's
You
where they
start
always
just
hide things in the movies.
Flipping things up.
It was
Um,
like this when we got here.
Or
So-
a crickety board on the floor.
So Aramil did a pretty good job kind of scouring the room for hidden compartments and things like that and didn't turn up anything. Looking under the mattress, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. This place seems to be fairly plain. Looking in the drawers, you don't find anything crazy. There's a few clothes. No food, oddly enough. Looked like everything had been emptied out of the pantry. But yeah, outside of what you've already found, it doesn't seem like there's much more outside of just regular home type stuff.
No winter clothing.
No, you don't see any winter clothing.
She has clearly left. Actually, that's not as resounding as it sounded in my head. It's very obvious.
Is this the same day that we faced those shrinking and growing dwarf dudes?
No, it is the day after.
Okay.
Yeah, we fast forward.
Yeah, so basically you guys fought them, you rested, and then we kind of fast forwarded to this evening.
Okay, I got you.
But we fought the white lady.
You did
Today.
fight the white lady today, yeah.
Yeah, the demon. Well,
You guys ready to bunker down for the night?
maybe we should at least let the guard know, or, we did ask the captain to send runners for the men in black and her. We may get a lead.
You know,
Did
I
he
have
do
an
that?
idea.
Yeah, I asked him when things cooled off.
I don't
I
think it
said,
would
hey, would you?
just left.
I mean, they could run fast. I don't know.
I have an idea for tomorrow morning. I hope you guys like it.
Oh, hey. Vacheron, thank you for the donation. Holy shit.
Sin, I'm
So-
all ears.
He's going to support Wilzoo's No Mining Expeditions, GME. We're going to the moon.
Morning. Before we leave, we can stop by town hall, and I can say, "Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry for being so impatient yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad we came back today so I can collect on some of my funds. I know you said you didn't have enough time yesterday. I'm so sorry. I was trying to rush you. So I'm here to collect my funds. Thank you so much." And
I
they
don't
was
think
like,
that's
"What are you talking about, Sucinda?" I was like, "No, but really, you said so. You said, oh, we didn't have enough time. And so I'm here today since you have had time now. I'm so sorry for my confusion yesterday."
I don't know if they have one here, but they might try to put you in a cuckoo house.
Right. Or worse.
That is a bad idea, Sucinda.
Too soon, as they say.
So you just don't think they're going to pay us? I understand. We're just charity work. We're not real adventurers who get paid for our troubles.
Well, if we brought them back the cauldron, I'm sure we would get paid more.
And like she
Is it-
said,
Sure,
Or-
like they said, they're saying they're going to pay us. I'm sure they will, just like they were supposed to pay us today. Yeah. Sure.
this time let's, like Sin said, let's hold on to the cauldron until we get our money. And if they take too long, we'll just take it to another town.
We're just doing charity work now. I
That is the
understand.
plan.
Yes, we shall remain with the cauldron until payment.
I see.
Well, what if they give us 1,000 gold?
I'll believe it when I see it.
That's $250 a person versus $125.
Oh,
Anything's more than 2.
Or 8. This many, yes.
While we're having this discussion, I'd like to kind of like look in the kitchen area. Is there any like cans or glasses or anything?
There are a couple of mugs.
I'd like to set them up, like hang them from like little string around the windows and the door.
Okay.
Just like not necessarily traps, but if someone tries to come in while we're sleeping, we'll know.
Make some noise. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely you get the string and you kind of tie it around the top of the windows and the doors. Wilzu, you notice this more specifically as Sandy is doing this, since Aramil and Sucinda are sort of just talking back and forth.
I guess that's not a bad idea. Now just kind of watch him setting up.
Okay, so what are we all doing? Are we resting for the night?
I'm pulling my tent out, setting it up in the middle of the living room.
That may not be needed. Just maybe the sleeping bag.
Here, Hap, thank you for the sub.
Before you set up
Because
in the middle of the room.
Vashuron gifted it to me. Thank you, Vashuron.
Oh, he did gift it. Thank you, Vesh.
Can I do a quick experiment before you set up in the middle of the room? I'm not hearing no, so I'm gonna do it.
What did you
Okay.
think? You want to do an experiment?
Yes, and I'm already reaching into the magical bag that I have, and I take out a little fuzzy ball, and I flick it in front of me.
Okay, it hits the ground. Let me up here.
Oh boy.
I think it's a D8 that you roll. Let's see.
I can click a D8 button here.
Yeah, roll a D8 for me. 3. All right, so it kind of bounces a couple times, and you see it start to sort of morph a little bit, and different sides of it start to poke out a little bit, and then it sort of through a cloud of smoke. You hear a and as the smoke sort of clears, you see probably about a 75-pound, 80-pound mastiff dog just sort of there panting and looking directly at you. Just and then it just runs directly towards you and jumps up and puts its paws on your shoulders. I need you to make a strength saving throw for me.
Wow.
And knocks you to the ground. And just has you sort of pinned and just starts licking your face.
Okay. I command the creature to back up and sit.
It immediately stops and backs up and sits.
I'll wipe my face and get up. A dog. A huge dog.
Fascinating.
Can we keep it? I don't want the money if we can keep it forever.
They are temporary, I'm afraid. Speaking of which, this is part of the experiment. I think I could do this one more time until... Wait. Dawn. When's dawn? Is that the morning or evening? When the sun's rising? No, that's dusk. No, that's dawn.
Oh, that's dawn.
Perfect. I take another fuzzy ball and just throw it on the ground.
As this ball hits the ground, you see the mastiff sitting in front of you just sort of fade and disappear into smoke again as this next ball lands on the ground and just starts to pulse. All right,
Oh
8.
boy.
This one starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start seeing protrusions come out the front of it, and it very quickly starts to rise above you, above Sucinda even. This thing is getting quite big, and as the smoke starts to sort of swirl around it and then dissipate, you see standing before you is this sort of majestic giant elk with large horns sort of looking down at you, and it just is completely still.
Whoa. Is that an elk? I think this is an elk.
It is a magnificent beast.
Oh, I bet it could trample the living hell out of something.
Or
It's-
carry.
Its antlers are almost kind of scraping against the edges of the ceiling in a couple of places.
This will ruin our resale value.
Right, right. Comps. We're losing them.
I'm gonna call it horns. Horns! Curl up delicately and on the floor and sleep.
A duck.
It sort of gently walks in a circle, and as it does, it just sort of plops down on the wooden floor and kind of rests its chin on the ground. Its face still aimed and looking right at you, Wilzu.
Oh, you look at that. And I'll just kind of walk around it, like to where, almost to where its stomach area is, and just sit down and just lay back on it. All right.
It's pretty comfortable.
I'm
and
sleeping here tonight.
you kind of feel it breathing, and it kind of almost Jurassic Park style sort of lifts you up as it breathes in and breathes out.
How long will your companion stay?
Honestly, I'm not sure. A day, maybe?
And how do you plan to get it out of this house?
Well, I'll just tell it to stay here. This'll reset at dawn. I can do it 3 more times.
Okay.
You accept my explanation. Excellent.
I don't have another. It's not just going to sit here forever.
No,
Okay.
it'll turn to dust, like the Mastiff did.
Hmm.
So are we all camping out here for the night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to do before we take a long rest?
Nope.
What time is it?
It's about 9:30. And your bag, Wilzu, is now completely empty. Nothing else in there at the moment. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take our long rest, and we're going to also go ahead and take our break for tonight. We are going to take like a 10, 15, get refills and use the restroom, all that good stuff. And we'll be back. So hang in there with us. We will be back in a jiffy. Okay. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we took a little longer there. I lost track of time because I'm a horrible DM. All right. So you have all successfully rested. You've completed a long rest. Aramil, as you kind of go out and carefully do your rounds throughout the night, you notice as it gets later and later, there are fewer lights on in the buildings around you until it gets actually very, very dark. But you never notice anything suspicious or dangerous, anything that seems to be looking at you. So you make your way back in to kind of keep warm for the rest of the night. About 6 a.m. rolls around and the aurora is fading in the sky. As the aurora fades, Wilzu, you're fast asleep. And just kind of kept warm by kind of the four walls up around you, but also by the giant elk that you're laying on as well. But at dawn, it fades and your head falls back and hammers against the floor. And it wakes you up very quickly and very abruptly.
Good morning, sir.
And I looked down where the elk was. Good morning.
Well, that was fascinating.
Well, now I know when they vanish for sure. I guess it's every dawn.
Yes.
And looking at your little bag, it seems to have its 3 little spheres in it again.
All right, I guess take advantage of morning as early as we can, right? I'm gonna quickly eat a ration. And I get up and get ready for the day, while also kind of loudly making just casual conversation with Aramil to make everyone else wake up as well.
Yes, eating was a good idea.
I'm snoring very loudly in my tent,
your
unaffected by
tent set
anyone
up?
talking.
And your tent it's very loosely set up since there's nowhere to like hammer spikes into the ground. It's basically just the center poles up and the rest of it's just kind of loosely like draped over it. So you all looking at his tent can see kind of his breathing in and out as the tent sort of goes in and out as well with him.
Perfect. Well, we do have a long day. We should report in at the town hall and then make for Bryn Shander.
Yeah.
I think you're muted, Sucinda.
If we have time, get to Targos.
Still muted.
If not, next day.
There you go.
Sandy. Sandy, wake up. Sandy. Okay, Sandy, I'm eating one of my rations you have, okay? Don't mind me. I'm just going through your bag right now.
Still snoring.
I go through his bag and get one of my 5 rations out,
Okay.
and I eat it.
Who's there? The hammer? He wants to challenge Sandy. Let's see.
I abruptly wake up, like, knock into my tent and everything. And I get out of my tent in a wrestling.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
I heard the hammer was here.
That was Wilzu's head.
Oh,
Can I share with you guys my fears of this town? My concern, rather, not fear. Fear's
Pickpocketing?
dramatic.
Pickpockets.
So, pickpockets, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm curious if the town master intends to give us all of the gold or give us the gold in general for our troubles. I'm very troubled with the fact that we have received no gold for giving the cauldron the first time. I wonder if the morals of this town, if we're just being led along. Just to give you guys some insight into why I was curious about the gold situation. I'm afraid that we might be being taken advantage of because we're not from the town, one. And two, the morals of the town support stealing from others. And in a way, I feel like they have already stolen from us. I mean, they literally stole gold from me, but that's irrelevant to what I'm saying.
But they don't have the cauldron.
But we sold them the cauldron. They lost it. That is not technically our problem. We provided a goods to them. We solidified our deal.
Okay, so Cinda, let's talk for a moment. So say we go there right now and demand they pay us. What are the outcomes you expect?
Well, I don't necessarily want them to give us all of our gold. I'm just saying that if we continue to do favors for them, we need to do them with the mindset of maybe not getting paid at all.
Okay, so
If
we're
that's
not
what you
giving-
guys want to do, I'm not hurting for gold. I mean, it's fine to me.
Calm. We're going to go get the cauldron and take it back to them at their request for an increased fee. We have learned once that we can't trust them with it. We've discussed this. We cannot trust them with it, clearly. When we bring the cauldron back, they will either give us money or they will give us nothing. In which case, we will give them nothing and have our cauldron back.
Sure,
Thus, no deal, period. It's a wash. Right?
sure. I was just trying to give you an insight into my mind. That is all.
If they're trying to swindle us, they're doing it very, very poorly, is what I'm getting at. Locking themselves in their own jail seems like, not very effective.
I just think they may not have gold, period. But that's all.
It could be true, but they won't have a cauldron if that's the case second time around.
Sure. Just my thoughts.
Good. Anyone else? Are we ready to set out?
So the route, to my understanding, is to go to Bryn Shander, tell Danica her friend is dead, and then say bye, and then go to Targos as soon as we can. Question mark?
You make it sound so depressing when you put it that way.
Oh, with the Danica dead thing? Like,
Yeah, like we're just making just passing through town, your friend's dead, bye.
well,
You know.
this is the short version. I mean, obviously, we would show compassion and, whatever. But he's not our...
realistically, She watched her dad die, so what's worse than that?
Preach.
Hey, your best friend's also dead?
I mean,
Well, I mean,
Yeah. Airman, what's all on the list? What all we have some other stuff, don't we?
well, we have a lot on the list. But what's applicable at the moment seems to be telling Danica, finding Prudence, and going to Targo.
Very well.
Also, that adventuring group is in Targos looking for the werebear stuff.
In that case, yes. Through Brushander, quick pit stop. Danica. Perhaps Lucinda should, if you wouldn't mind, you're pretty good at handling people, I think. Maybe you should talk to her about that. And then onward to Targos.
are Are you okay, Wilzu?
Wilzu, I think Sandy and I will talk to
Look, I
Danica.
know she's really forward, but she's seems charismatic in that regard. So said, I think you can do an excellent job.
I will tell her if you wish. It's fine.
Whoever it is, we should probably just break it easily.
I'd like to walk up to Wilzu and just kind of like poke him a couple times, make sure Wilzu's Wilzu.
I wouldn't mind to stop in and see how the arrow's going. The arrow machine.
Arrow machine. So, and that's in Bryn Shander too, isn't it?
Yes, I gave him a deposit to come up with a repeating arrow device. At least just to see how it's going. I don't expect it to be ready.
Well, I guess, yeah, that's the plan then. So let's do it. And I'll start marching outside.
But we should probably let the guards or captain know what's going on here.
And I'll pause for a moment. If you think so, how do we have to go talk to him again? We told him we'd help him.
I mean,
Next
if
time
you
we
want
come
to,
back,
if
we
y'all
should-
want to wait outside, I don't mind. Discuss.
We have to pass by here anyhow to leave town, technically, right?
Let's see here.
Maybe.
Back to the East Haven city map. No, it would be backwards.
Well, if it's on the way out.
They would at least know. They could at least tell us if a guard saw the people in black.
Okay, let's go talk to him and see if he has any new information.
Just real quick, in and out, 5 minutes.
I'll exit heading that way instead.
All right, where are we headed towards town hall?
Guarding our pockets.
Yes,
Okay.
guarding our pockets.
It takes you about another 10-15 minutes to get there, but you do make it to town hall. What do we want to do?
I just want to go in and talk to Arlagath to see if he's heard anything, and then let him know what we found at Prudence's house.
Okay. Back up here. There we go. So who is Wilsey? You said you were waiting outside.
I'll wait in like the front door so I don't have to stand out in the cold. But yeah, that's as far as I'm going.
Okay.
I don't know what everybody else is doing.
When you get to town hall and walk in the door, you actually notice Captain Arlagath actually already in there. He seems to be walking up towards the offices as you enter.
Captain. No, like.
He turns around and kind of whips around and sees you. Says, I thought you had left.
Oh, well, before we were leaving, this is what we found at her house.
You kind of just exposition
Here it
vomit on him.
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, nothing conclusive, just a cage and some letters. I assume she was in communication with somebody.
Food was gone, no winter clothes. She clearly picked up and left in a hurry.
Interesting. And tell me about this cage you found and you said there was some sort of skin inside of it?
Some kind of serpent snake skin. Not exactly sure.
You see him kind of stroke his beard a little bit. And he
Odd
said,
for this climate.
Odd indeed. Although it's not entirely uncommon for certain people to utilize flying serpents to quickly deliver messages. And he looks down at the floor for a moment and then looks back to Aramel and says, So, are you heading to Targos?
Yes, follow up. We will bring back that cauldron, so just make sure the speaker has that money ready for us.
We will.
I glance back at Sen with a smirk.
We will have your money ready. He says, the sustenance that it could bring to our people would be invaluable.
Yes. Any town in need would love to have it.
And he nods and then proceeds to go back up the stairs and through the door.
I message Sen. I say, see, I said any town, implying that if he doesn't pay us, we'll take it somewhere else.
That's smart.
I do this number to
Wilzu, you see the rollout.
yeah.
The
Do you guys
rollout
not
sign.
know? Saddle up and go and saddle up. No, all right.
I give a
Yes.
long nod and turn and walk out.
Let's Uber out the building.
Ooh, we're out the building.
To the
Okay.
gates.
So you're heading out of town and heading towards Bryn Shander?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll go ahead and fast forward us here because you don't run into any issues on the road throughout the day. The weather itself, while very cold, almost unbearably cold, your thick jackets, your thick coats hold up, and you don't suffer any kind of long-term. Oh gosh, I'm trying to do multiple things at once here. You don't suffer any kind of long-term effects from the cold. Additionally, you aren't accosted by anything on the road this time. You remember on your way here, some sort of gnolls or something attacked you on the road. You managed to defeat them, but your way back to Bryn Shander is relatively, uneventful. And at about 1:40, it's about 1:40 p.m., 1:30, 1:40, you see in the distance, kind of through the snow coming down, the city on the hill. You see first the kind of glow of the lights of the town, and then into view comes the gate, the large circular gate around the building, fence around the building, or city, sorry. And when you get closer, you see the gatehouse on the eastern side of the city. And as you approach, you see two guards sort of standing out in front of the gate that are eyeballing you as you approach the city.
I'll just hold my hand up and just shout out, "Hail, guardsmen again!"
They
And
look
just
at
keep
you
walking.
and nod and just sort of take you all in as you enter the city. And now that we're in Bryn Shander, what would we like to do?
So, who remembers where's Danica live? Susinda, you know, right?
I flashed that writ of passage that we have
Yes.
on the way back in. Just to remind everybody, we have writs of passage. We got our fast pass into Bryn Shander. I make a point to run back to the guard. I'm like, look, we're here. We're allowed to be here.
He sort of looks at it, and you see his eyes run up and down it quickly, and then looks back forward out at the wilderness in front of him.
Yes, well then.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
Sorry. Taking notes. Well, I guess we better be off to Danny's.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she does not know.
Damn it. Danny doesn't know. So it takes probably another, 20 minutes or so to get to Danica's home. But when you do see the lights inside of the home. Let me pull this back up. Should have known you were going to go to Danica's. Where'd it go? There it is. So, over here. You start to approach Danica's house from the east.
I'd like to walk up to the door.
Okay, it should be up on your map now, where you can move.
All right. Looking forward to this conversation.
Right. Maybe we should not bring up that you're working with his items?
Yeah, I wasn't going to unless she specifically requested. Which case, I'm an honest gnome. I'll bring it up if it comes to that.
Maybe you should tuck your stuff away.
Yeah, let's lead off with that, and I'll make sure my pouch is with the fuzzy balls is away.
Okay. And you kind of knocking on the door?
Yep.
Okay. After a few moments, the door opens, and you see Danica standing in front of you.
Ah,
And-
Danny.
For a moment, she sort of looks at you, and then it takes a moment for her to recognize that it's you, and she says, "Sin, you've made it back!
Yeah,
good.
Danny.
Please come in, come in." And she goes and sits down in the chair at the table over here, and she says, "Sin, please. Oh, your friends are here too.
Yes.
Come in. What can I do for you?"
Danny, I'm very sorry to be the one to have to tell you this, but I'm afraid that your fears, well, they were right. It was Dazan who they had captured.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sorry to tell you that Dazan is dead. They burned him at the stake.
And she just sort of looks down at the table for a moment. How would they do that?
I don't know. When we arrived, it had already begun, and they said that he had impersonated somebody and led a band of adventurers off. I don't understand. I mean, was he the person who seemed like he would do something like that to you? I didn't know him well. I just saw him in passing.
He had never come across to me that way, no.
He was blamed for some murders, if memory serves.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he's certainly the adventurous type, but I don't think that he would murder anyone. And if he did, I just don't understand.
I tried to send him a message, but he did not respond, nor did he seem in pain.
Perhaps he knew some sort of magic that could ward off the pain. I don't know. Wow. Right.
Sorry.
So, you weren't able to speak with him before?
No. I'm
Right.
so sorry, Danny. You've been through so much.
There was a large crowd, about 30 or 40 guards. It was beyond us.
He was just burned burned alive?
Unless if he knew a way to duplicate him. I mean, from what we saw, yes.
A lot of people I know being burned lately.
What's going on in Bryn Shander since we've left?
Well, they've increased the overall watch around the city, trying to find the murderer that's been going around, but nothing else has happened over the last few days. And it's sort of died down. People are still talking about it, though, especially at the taverns. Outside of that, nothing really strange.
Any more information on Well,
No, nothing new. Not yet. And, I mean, what about you? What have you all been up to?
I'm terrible with town names, but we were at this shithole town next door. I say
East
next
Haven.
door. East Haven. Don't ever go there, Donnie. 0 out of 10 on the Yelp review. I hate it there. Don't go. I don't like it.
I have.
did you know pickpocketing is legal?
Can you imagine? It's just terrible. Someone stole from me, Donnie.
I
I
have
know.
been there a couple of times. Something about their retaining their culture or something.
Right. It sounds like a playground, but it's very lame.
I personally don't care for the town, but that's just me.
I would venture to say most places would not be great right now. I mean, it's been 2 years since we've seen the sun. That tends to have a negative effect on most people, I would assume.
Yeah, no vitamin D. I get it. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, the longer this goes on, the worse it gets. People kind of sinking back into their worst versions of themselves. People just thinking about themselves, and it's not great. Maybe. I just don't know. Now that Dazan is gone, and our research that we were doing into the Chewingas, and you just sort of see this look of despair kind of go over her entire being as she just sort of slumps down in the chair a little bit, and you see a tear just fall from her right eye.
Has Southwell been around any?
Once or twice. Once to ask if anyone else had come by, and then another just to check on me. That was a couple of days ago, and I haven't seen anyone since.
Right. I'm sure the sheriff is a busy man.
Indeed. So, did you all come back just to fill me in, or where are you? What is to be of Was?
I look over to Sin for a moment, and after she doesn't say anything, I'll step up. We were, actually just passing through. We were heading to Targos.
Targos. Why are you headed there?
Another mission. As adventurers, when opportunity arises, we try to jump in. We had a deal with East Haven that hasn't really gone anywhere, but once our business concluded in Targos, we're hoping perhaps we can be on the upper end of it.
Right. Well, Targos is another fairly large town. You should be able to find your way there. The roads lead straight there, assuming they are not absolutely covered. Interesting town. Fishing town.
Another fishing town, huh? East Haven supposedly is too, but the lakes are completely frozen. They can't get anything out of there now.
I imagine most of the lakes are mostly frozen, but as much of a fishing town as East Haven is, Targos has supplied most of 10 towns with its fish for years, but that has fallen off lately. They are nothing but a fishing town.
Are there any peculiar hobbies or traditions that we should be aware of?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't been there in a couple of years, but, the Luskan Arms, that's the main inn there. You're looking for a place to stay.
That was my next.
Outside of that, I believe the Triglio, if you're looking for a drink.
You know us well.
I imagine we'll be visiting both these places while we're there, but we didn't want to keep you, Danica. We're sorry to suddenly show up with this news, but we thought it important to stop by before we left.
Danny, before we go, may I ask you a question?
Of course.
You were raised here, yes?
I was.
Have you ever heard anything about a Sunblight clan?
Sunblight. No,
Like
but it sounds quite...
an urban legend, or a story growing up maybe that they would talk about.
Sounds quite aggressive. Sunblight. No, I'm not familiar with Sunblight, but what are you referring to?
I mean, it's really nothing. Someone said something in passing, and I just didn't know what it meant, and I felt kind of like a fool because I didn't know what it meant, so I thought I would ask a friend so I wasn't embarrassed.
Right.
I don't feel so bad, though, now that you also don't know. They were probably just speaking gibberish.
I will keep my ear to the ground, and if you find yourself here in town again, know that you have a place to stay, and I will let you know.
Thank you, Danny. You're a true friend.
Thank you, Danica.
He just sort of nods.
I will nod and head outside.
You know, while we're here, I say leaving. And then I
I wait until the guys have left. Hey, Danny.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, I didn't want to say it in front of the guys. Are you okay financially? I know your father just passed. I don't know if he left you any money or if you're in need or...
There was some here, yes.
If you find yourself needing while I'm in town, just let me know, okay?
I will.
Okay. All right. Well, Danny, I'll see you sometime, okay?
She just nods without saying anything. You see her eyes are kind of red a little bit, like she's holding back tears.
Hey,
so
guys.
while we're sorry.
Hello, Sam.
Hi.
What's up, Airmill?
I was gonna say, while we're here, I'm sure you remember the dwarves who tasked us with the iron ingot escapade.
Yes, what of them?
Do you think they would know anything of the dark dwarves?
Maybe. What do you hope to find out, if so?
Just anything.
Aramel,
Yeah.
are these the same dwarves that we hold a discount with now?
These are the same dwarves who...
We have a running discount, right?
That is a store.
Different.
Yeah,
Oh.
they said we're friends of the dwarves, though.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But we do have a discount at the store here.
Yes. I was confused. My bad. Sorry, LML. Thank you for the clear up.
That's okay, I've been running through the memory.
Do you know where we could find them?
Well, they were at the inn.
I don't think they live there. That was like a week ago, wasn't it?
It was, like... Trying to think. Well, this is session 11, and that was session 4. So then that's 7 sessions ago.
I think we should get to Targos before it starts getting darker. I don't think we should spend any more time here. But
What
that's
time is
me.
it?
Right now it's about 2:30 in the afternoon.
And then how long does it take us to get to Targos?
2
Assuming...
hours, roughly.
So unless you really want to find out about these dwarves, I say we just go.
I wouldn't mind to open the door at the end, see if they're in there, and if they're not, we leave.
Aramil, you thorough son of a bitch. I'm going inside. I'm staying outside that place.
It's a lot of pressure with the list. It's a lot of pressure.
I don't think Wilzu just wants to go into that place again.
You don't have to. No, I will do the talking. I will just look in, hello, and then...
Wilzu, you don't want to boast about being an explorer now? Being out of the...
Vilzu, did they make those shifts 2 weeks in advance? Are you on shift today?
Yeah, are you supposed to be at work?
And I didn't want to do it again until, well, ever. I could care less about going back there, period.
I think you forfeited your job as it's a no-call, no-show.
I think so too. It's a lot of not going to work this last
I
week.
think it's what is it?
That must be what
Involuntary
it is.
separation, right?
You must be afraid to go in. They're going to yell at you and say, "You're fired."
Yeah, they might be closed. They might not even have water right now.
You've been fired. You see,
That's a good
they
point.
could be boiling snow for all we know.
We'll make our way back to the inn.
Sandy, Aramel, you guys coming or what?
Yes, I will magically appear at the inn in just a moment.
Okay, so we're heading to the Northlook.
Yes,
Okay.
we're dusting off all the maps.
I was gonna say. You thorough bastards. You do find yourself back at the Northlook.
Feel like it's we do everything or nothing. I will go up to the door and I will look in. I will step in and do I see any dwarves?
You do not.
I look over at Wilzu. Is he like standing there with his arms crossed, pouting?
Yeah, halfway in a bush. There's like one limb that's just like right in front of his face.
Wilzu, it's okay. Like I understand you don't want to show your face here, but no, you could always be like, "Hey, I'm Nanana Boo Boo. I'm better than you."
It's awkward, is the best way to put it. I just want to go as soon as we can.
So looking around the Northlook, you see it's fairly busy, actually, halfway through the afternoon. Quite a few people sitting up at the bar. Multiple people sitting through the actual room in different tables and chairs around. And you see Scramsacks behind the counter, just sort of talking to different people. And he notices you sitting there and says, "Hi, yeah, what can I get for you?"
Do you have portable cups that I could take? 4 road beers.
No. We were supposed to get new mugs last week, but they never came in.
What a coincidence.
Right, and I do the meme like. Well, yes. You remember the dwarves who were here?
We get a few dwarves in it. Which dwarves?
I slide him a gold, and I say, "You remember the dwarves with their iron ingots, and we assisted them."
He looks back up at you. Says, Oh, you're the one with Wilzu. Oh, sure, yeah, I remember the dwarves," and he takes the gold and pockets it.
Do you remember when they left and where they went?
No.
I like look into I stare into his soul. It's like,
He says, "I don't know, they went back to their mining camp, I don't know.
do you remember where they
What am I, the
camp
dwarf lord?"
Do you remember where the camp was? Did they did you overhear where they say it was?
Oh god, you're new here, aren't you? I mean, you know,
First day.
the Dwarven Valley. It's at the base of Kelvin's Cairn. It's where all the dwarves stay. They go down there and they mine and do whatever whatever dwarves do.
That was Karen.
Kelvin's Cairn.
Kelvin.
You know it's the large
Yeah,
mountain here, and there is a fairly, not everybody knows about it, but most people know about the Dwarven Valley that is sort of a large crevice at the base of it.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And I just walk backwards and then leave.
And as you turn to go, you hear Scramsack say back to another patron there, like, I don't know what the hell that was about. All right. And then you're out of earshot.
And as soon as I round this corner, is anybody at me? These people?
No, nobody seems to be looking at you. They seem to be kind of wrapped up in their own affairs.
All right. Well, there's this place called, I don't know, the Dwarven Valley, and it's at the base of the Kelvin's Cairn, and that's probably where those were. So if we ever want to talk to dwarves, that's where we should go.
Okay, sounds good. Let's roll out.
Yep. See, it was worth coming here. Did you know about the Dwarven camp?
I don't care about the Dwarven camp right now.
But hey, now we know. Knowledge is power.
I
And you're
can't
familiar with power, right?
And knowledge, yes, and very much so. To an extent. Sometimes.
So we are headed out.
Head to the gate. And when we get there, I want to do something with my bag.
Oh, okay.
Have we gotten through the gate yet?
So you make it to the kind of southwest gate down here. What is it that you're looking to do?
I'm gonna bring out my buddy for the evening that hopefully I can sit on.
Okay.
Oh, is that the magic number?
Oh,
Let's see.
it's your elk buddy, right?
It is the magic number. So you see kind of the same kind of formation from this little fuzzy ball on the ground as it sprouts up quickly through a cloud of smoke into a full sized giant elk that just looks down at you.
Oh, lucky! Look at that. How tall is it again?
On all fours, it probably stands about 5.5 feet tall.
Okay.
From where its back is, its head is much higher than that.
I'm gonna get a running leap to leap onto it.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Athletics. No strength.
All right, so you run up and jump, and you find yourself just clinging on to this thing's back leg. And it just kind of turns around and looks at you.
Horns, kneel down! Kneel down!
And it kneels down.
Seeing this, can I walk over to Wilzu and kind of like grab him by the back of the shirt and set him up on top of it?
Absolutely.
I don't resist
Almost like
at all.
a puppy.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Sandy.
There we go.
Okay, Horns. March on the path. We're leading the way.
Okay, and you start heading west towards Targos. About an hour goes by, and the weather starts to take a turn, and wind starts just blasting you, and the snow starts just sort of dumping down, and your visibility just drops. You can see maybe 30 feet, 20 feet out in front of you as you continue. But it seems to kind of hold there. Anything in particular we want to do on the trip to Targos?
Actually, kind of. Remembering we got ambushed the last time, we took the east way, even though this is a completely different path we're on now. I want to make a note to pay attention to the signs as much as possible. Look for maybe a flicker of torch here and there that maybe showed up by accident or something waiting to ambush in any way, shape, or form. Just looking out for that stuff.
Gotcha. Make a perception check with advantage. Okay.
Nice.
So you are feeling quite perceptive, sitting on top of your giant elk out in the lead. Although the wind and the snow sort of dilute your senses quite a bit, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary or anything that would ring any sort of alarms. And after about 2.5 hours, in the distance, just right at the edge of your vision as this storm sort of starts to subside, you believe that you see the outskirts of a town in front of you. I need everybody to go ahead and make a frost check for me real quick.
Frost check.
Okay. So Wilzu and Aramil, both of you, Wilzu, you mainly have been focused so much on looking out and trying to keep an eye out for possible ambushes and stuff. This cold has really just kind of penetrated your being. Aramil, you as well, just it seems like no matter how much you kind of bundle up, this wind is just finding its way into your bones. And both of you just have very mild hypothermia right now, which gives you... well, actually, I'm sorry. You currently do not have use of your reactions, and you have disadvantage on initiative, just because you're sort of stiff and kind of shaking and cold.
Are we exhausted?
You're not exhausted now.
Okay.
It's not quite as bad, yeah. it still sucks. But nonetheless, you see in the distance a town sort of surrounded by a large spiked wooden gate, and it seems to have an opening out to this large lake, which still is mostly frozen over, but inside the gate definitely frozen over.
It looks like the entrance a bit further up. Let's keep going.
Great.
Okay.
All right, so heading into town. Tell me if you guys can see this. Y'all see anything?
No.
What?
No.
Okay, hold on. Oh, that's why.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my goodness, hold on, let me reload my page. Ah. Roll 20 does not like me.
It's like a yin yang.
It is a yin yang. Oh my gosh. Why? So you all find your way up to the western entrance. And there are a couple of guards standing out front as you approach. What would you like to do?
I want to proudly just ride up like a knight on horseback, but freezing like I am, I'm kind of like just hunched over, gripped for warmth on this elk. So I'll lean my head to the side and look at the guards and go, "Hail, guardsmen of Targos! A fine, nice, warm evening, aye?"
Oh, I think we might have lost our stream.
Uh-oh.
Or not our stream, but the,
We lost you. I don't see you, the stream thing.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. Un momento. Give me 1 second here.
Loading, please wait, yeah. Please waiting.
Sometimes, god dang it, dude, it just annoys the shit out of me.
Did you say I was riding a giant elk, by the way?
Yes, let me double check it, just to make sure I told you the right thing. Yeah, a giant elk, yeah.
This thing could kick my ass.
Okay, open this. And
9/11. Wake up.
there we go. Pull up YouTube videos, great. Love it. Sorry, buddy, give me 1 second.
You're good. Let's hang out in the cold. We got time. It's mild hypothermia.
Roll20 never gave me any problems ever, and then lately it's just been hot garbage. Sign back in over here. Launch my game.
Have you guys heard of the Comfy? Do you guys own one? I asked the guards. My husband, someone I know got one for me. And they're very warm. You guys should maybe invest in one. It's very cold here. I highly suggest. I think he got this from Amazon.
What is it?
It is called a Comfy. It is a very large, oversized hoodie. It goes down to my knees.
Oh, I think someone I know that's married asked for one of those for Valentine's Day.
You know, that's what I got mine for. It is ginormous. Everybody should have one.
Okay.
Got it right before the big freeze came through, if I may say so.
Stream is just broken. AF.
No.
Yeah. Because even if I go back over here. Oh, awesome.
Wait, why is it broken? Everything looks fine.
Not on the stream.
Oh, the chat doesn't look fine.
Everything's... It's capturing the wrong screen. Hold on. Maybe it will
is
do... There we
broken.
go. Now I can open up my thing again here. And now I can pull everything back up. Wow. What an absolute suck.
What, do you have dark mode for your Roll20? I want
I
that.
do. Yeah.
Can I do that?
You can. You do have the ability.
I need it for my D&D Beyond.
Let me see here. Yeah, loading, please waiting. Back here. Sorry, we don't have BlizzCon level support for our stream here. I don't have Critical Role level bullshit here. Okay, I think... Wait, let's see. I think we might be good now. We're good.
Nice.
Jesus. Jesus, Mary, Joseph. Okay. So you are riding. God, talk about a break in immersion, even for me. Okay. So you're riding up to the guardhouse here, and you see the couple of guards just sort of looking out at you as you ride up. Wilzu, you're sort of shivering as you approach, and they sort of look you all up and down. Kind of looks at the only one of you that's on any kind of mount. Welcome, to Targos. What brings you here?
Well, first and foremost, shelter and lodging.
We do have that, yes. Please. And they just sort of gesture you inside.
I'll give him a polite nod and march on in.
Where could we find the Luskan arms?
He stops and turns around to you and says, you just go straight through the gate here, through the town square, and it's the large building right in front of you. And he turns and points at the cluster of buildings directly in front of you here and says, you go past all of those, and it's behind them. And you can sort of see a thick black smoke sort of going through the sky behind where the first cluster of buildings are.
Right. Let's make hay.
Yes, they have ale and generally a fire. So we're headed towards the Luskan Arms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you make your way around the city there, and are coming up from the southern area, and you see this large kind of building that seems to dominate the rest around them, with a thick black plume of smoke coming out of the chimney, which you can assume would be the Luskan Arms.
I will ask Horns to kneel down so I can hop off, then hop off.
It does exactly as you command.
And I guess I'll give it a little more elaborate command now. Horns, I can't bring you in, so you have to stay out here in the freezing cold. Don't know if you'll live, but I believe in you. Hang out at this tree, and if anything screws with you, defend yourself. But, be nice, be polite.
It just sort of shakes a little bit. You see the snow and ice kind of flick off of it a bit.
Very good. Here's hoping for that to work out. I'll go in.
Adamel, are you coming?
Yes. I am not frozen, I promise.
As you walk in, you feel the immediate warmth of the fire as it just sort of seeps in. There's an older man sitting behind the counter there, and he seems to just have his head down. He's kind of balding on the top, but still has some hair around the fringes there.
I'll start to approach him, but then I'll pause. I remember how Aramil was able to haggle the other guy to bring us breakfast one time. I remember him and Aramil, you want to see about maybe getting some rooms or something?
Sure. So these are the two cats behind the counter.
Yes. Center everything there for the stream. There we go. So yes, there is. There's a couple sitting. So you've walked up to a couple that's just sitting at a table. This gentleman over here is the one sitting behind the desk.
Yes, quite so. And I dramatically wrap around Sandy, who leaves me.
The old gentleman looks up at you and says, Yes, hello. Welcome, to the Luskin Arms. What can I do for you?
Yes, inquiring about room and board. Maybe food.
Yes, and he kind of pulls open a ledger in front of him and looks down and says, we have single beds, queen beds, and then we have suites that match both of them, but it's not like it matters. We're all gonna die anyway.
Right?
He just looks back down at his paper. So
How
which is
much?
it?
Kind of depressing. Hmm?
How much for room for 4 of us? It can be in the same room. We're like that. That it doesn't matter.
We don't have any rooms for 4. We just have rooms for 1 or 2.
How much for 2 rooms for 2?
Well, are you looking for single beds, queen?
What's our price points? It does not matter.
A single bed is 2 gold apiece. Queen beds are 4
So 4 or 8?
per night.
What about food? Does that include food or is that separate?
Good question. Good question.
Food is separate. Food is a gold.
I ask him in Thieves' Cant, how are the hens in the Cabbage Patch? And just to test.
He looks at you kind of quizzically and he says, We don't have cabbage here.
I rub my chin and say, "Will Zoo, we're paying full price."
All right then. You said 8 gold for what? Is that 2 people?
8 gold for a double or 4 for single.
But that's not total, is it? It's like 8 gold each, or
No, total.
oh,
He says, It's 2 gold per bed.
It's 2 gold per bed.
4 gold per queen bed.
oh, so that'd be like 16 gold if we all got queens, right?
Right.
He looks at you all and you see him sort of counting you. He says, 4,
No.
8, yes, 16.
Well, I'm fine with the 2 gold bed.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep economy tonight. Economic, whatever that term is. And I'll take out 8 gold and set it on the counter.
Oh, thank you, sir.
He
Thank you, Vilsu.
nods and he starts looking at keys. You hear him kind of jingling keys underneath the desk there. And he pulls out 2 keys and slides them to you, Aramil, and 1 to you, Wilzu. And he says, room 1 and room 5. And he points directly north from you, Wilzu, to a door that's right in front of you, just about 20 feet to your north. And he says, the other room is on the north side. Skip a door, and the next room is yours.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll lean over
Yes.
the counter and I will snatch the room 1 key.
So besides our impending doom where we're all gonna die soon, what else is going on in Targa?
Oh, just the normal stuff. Nothing crazy.
What's normal around here? We're new in town.
Everything's frozen. People are dying. We're all doomed. The Frostmaiden has decided we are all basically just walking popsicles now, and it is just but a matter of time before we all succumb to our icy doom.
Yes. And Mr. Blue Sky, I did not get your name. Master...
My name is Owen. For however much longer.
Right. Well, thank you, Owen, for the pleasantries.
Hey,
He
buddy,
just
you're
keeps
still
like
alive.
looking off to the distance.
Is that the only thing that's bugging you? There's no immediate stuff? No brigands threatening to take your fish, or extortionists coming to demand money to protect your inn, or nothing like that? Just
Rats in a basement?
yeah, rats in a basement.
Boxes that need to be moved?
As you say rats in a basement, you start to look around and you actually see a rat kind of scurry across one of the...
Can I chuck a dagger at it? Like a dart?
Yeah, make an attack roll with disadvantage.
That's fine.
Oh, rats on the first floor.
Damn it.
Your dagger just sails and just
close.
pins in right next to this rat, and it kind of scurries into a hole. And as you look around this place, it looks like it's just very old. Aramil, make a perception check with advantage for me.
Starting to feel like we're in a Motel 3. Nice.
Okay. So looking around the room, this place actually starts to look familiar to you. Although it is very kind of in disrepair. The floorboards are sort of rotten, and you kind of feel the occasional draft come up from the floor. And even though you saw that one rat, you hear scurrying around and things like that. This place is definitely not in the best of shape. But as you look at the decor around and the general construction of this place, it reminds you very much of the city of Luskan. Very old, but a very distinct decorative style.
I once ran a Motel 3, if you will, and it was terrible. And that's not true that I did not run a hotel at all. I had nothing to do with it. But the aroma, and I roll my eyes, of this place reminds me of other times. Good time. Bad time.
He sort of looks at you, and he sort of sees the kind of the just the fringes of your outfit underneath your cold weather gear. He says, "You hail from Luskan yourself?"
Merely pass through, if you will.
Really pass through. Here, we gotta adjust your microphone settings.
Why?
We just hear every tiny little thing. We can fix it at the end of the stream though.
I was just
fine.
barely even touching my keyboard.
I know.
Barely.
Yeah, there's we gotta fix your something changed.
Auto adjusting.
Yeah, it might be auto adjusting. It's fine though.
Yes. Luskan is... I spent some time there before heading north. It was, you know the stories about the Old West, the Wild West? Well, there it was. In one place. Terrible and terrible.
Well, perhaps Speaker Nerth will have an interest in speaking with you. He's from Luskan.
Speaker Lareth, you say?
Nerth. That's Naerth.
I spelled it right. Well, interesting. And maybe perhaps we should need to seek him out anyway.
Well, it won't lead you too far. He stays here. He says it
At the
reminds
inn.
him of home, yes.
I look behind us and
No,
Like-
not them. He stays in the master suite.
Which is...
I'm not going to point it out to you, but
Oh,
I'll let him know that someone
Yes.
from Luskan is here to see him.
just to be clear, I passed through Lux, but I was there for a time.
Right.
It was an older me. One that was not so seasick.
Sure, yes. I will let him know. Well, be off with you.
Yes, yes, great.
What-
It's Tuesday.
What? He just sort of
Man, Aramil, you're good at this. I just start walking off to the one.
he just sort of rolls his
Uh,
eyes and just goes back to reading whatever kind of parchment was in front of him.
Feeling very exposed, having told nothing of my background, I slunk away.
I'll insert key and open door.
Okay. When you open the door, in the room, you kind of get this draft that sort of comes out. And you see a bunk bed. One bed just stacked on top of the other in there with a small chest.
Hey, look at that. I'll poke my head out the door and shout, "Room for one! Or one more, I mean." And I'll go inside and,
There's a
Climb to the
ladder
top.
at the foot of the bed.
Well, let's see what room 5 has going on. And I'll go to room 5, which I guess is this one.
Yes, that is the next room there. And looking in, you see another room with another chest on the floor and another set of bunk beds.
Well, Sandy, you've got 2 bunk beds, so I guess you want the bottom?
It'd probably be the safest for whoever I'm rooming with.
Well, I don't mind, and I'll, like, bring up on the top bed.
Okay, I'll go in there, knowing that you sleep the least, so you don't have to worry about my snoring.
Voodoo.
Sin, you've chosen the number 1 room where the number 1 people sleep.
Yes, yes. May I ask a request? I have a request.
Sure.
Can I have top bunk? I'm afraid that a mouse might get me on the bottom.
You want top? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I just got up here because it was, I don't know. There's a ladder and I went up it. I'll climb it.
So I'm so sorry, but if I can be a little bit further away from the rodents, I would prefer that.
Yeah, you're good. If any come to me, I'll, I don't know, I'll talk to them. Maybe see what's up.
Oh, yes, that sounds cool. Yes. I climb up to the top and just kind of let my feet dangle from the side.
Okay. Wills, are you just kind of closing the door behind you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So currently it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. Are we just kind of resting here for the day?
Sandy, did you know it's 3:30 in the afternoon?
I thought it was dark.
I thought it was dark as well.
All that traveling just gets you sleepy.
To be
Well, see, now
fair,
we've secured our
there's
room.
there's not a large difference between day and night here.
Hmm.
I
Sandy-
haven't planned just to secure this place. I'll go to room 5 and knock on the door.
Sandy, you don't know a lot about me.
No? Being confused and eyes already getting heavy.
You start knocking on that door and you don't hear any response.
Just not.
So, you know the city that the guy mentioned at the door, Luskan?
Was it this
Yeah.
door?
I was there for about a year. It is a true hell on earth.
No answer, but you hear Aramil's voice kind of carrying from somewhere near.
Oh, it must be. I just go to the one across the hall. It must be this one.
As in, hell on earth, do you mean actually warm?
Well, it is warmer. It is south of you.
No answer at that door.
Damn it! Maybe they went deeper in.
So it's. Don't know how to describe it, but
Is it down here?
it's ran. Imagine it's a city of anarchy.
Almost like East Haven?
No.
Man, is this a storage hall?
Gangs, bandits, demon worshippers, all fighting for power openly.
Rosie, you see a large double door about 10 feet in front of you to the south.
Is room 5 like a VIP suite? What is that? I'll start knocking on this double door.
Beyond the door, you can hear kind of some conversation. And then as you knock, it stops. Who is it?
Oh, you don't. Oh, wrong room. Thought this was my buddy Aramil. My bad. And I'll just start walking away. And then I'll, as I get this far, I'll do that thing where I keep making clack sounds on the wood, like I'm getting further away, but I'm just standing still.
Okay.
And then I'll stop and I'll tiptoe back. I just want to listen.
Okay. And that's where we're going to pick up next week.
Ooh.
That's what we're going to call it tonight.
Yeah, using my ignorance to find weird stuff.
This was just a traveling session. Good grief.
I'm getting stuff done, man.
Yep.
You're just checking off
Talking to
lists.
folks.
Well, you guys did travel like 7.5 hours away, so. All right, how's everybody feeling?
Tired.
I know you're tired. You're used to going to bed at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
and you're about to start having to work like 12-hour days.
Boo.
Yeah, that's all. That's no good.
You.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see how that affects D&D. We might have to put Sucinda on autopilot for a while. We'll see what happens though. Anyways, anybody have anything to say or anything before we call it?
I'm good.
No? Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider giving us a follow. If you want to support the stream, consider subscribing and getting a sweet little, thingy next to your name in the chat. That's always fun. But we will be back on Monday with some Shadow of the Demon Lord, our other D&D campaign that's going right now. So if you enjoyed this but want to see it with a better DM, join us on Monday when Willzu DMs for us. So until Monday, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.